Spare tunnel pipe over here, sitting about 15 foot from my yard, that I suspected might have been used for the tunnel pipe going behind my house. What is that? That video we just watched was done by myself and a friend here, Jordan, and his friend Frank. That was who was in the pipe. And basically, we're just showing that there was enough room to crawl in that pipe. Because I'm thinking that was just a spare cut off piece sitting in that front yard. And I'm suspecting maybe some of that pipe's in the ground here, maybe going over to where the two side by side manholes are, and used for the truckers that were back there and all that stuff. But anyways, I asked that neighbor, she's an elderly retired neighbor, where'd it come from? And she said it was from her ex-husband, and she had divorced this guy before I got here, and then he died in a motorcycle crash, so he's no longer alive. She didn't really know, basically, and so another story about that home here is in 2014 she come home, or she was home, and she saw somebody in her home. They talked to her. A burglar was in her home. The police were called. There were police all over the place here when she called the police, which then seems important because I have my home broken into thousands of times, right next door. But the police did fingerprints. They checked the windows, and she told me that they told her it was a guy that was living across the street in the corner house there at the time. I think it was the Martin's house that was breaking into her home. She was a pharmacist at the time and worked nights. She was gone at nights. And many times I would see lights on my cameras. I could see lights, because the lights would show up on the cameras. I would hear people out there at 11 o'clock at night or whatever, and then a few minutes I'd hear somebody in my home. So I was thinking there's a tunnel entrance over there somewhere, maybe inside that home. And she wasn't home at the time, and so I wondered that if that home over there had a tunnel entrance coming back over this home. I don't know that, but I'm just trying to put all these pieces together. And being that neighbor, at that corner house was breaking into her house, possibly breaking into my house. You see where I'm going with that one on the Martin house. Also, in the backyard of the home's a pile of red bricks. Okay, and I asked her about these red bricks. And she says, "Oh, they're from that fence out there, which is in the alley. That was the dividing wall between the Home Depot store and the homes here, from the residential and commercial." And I've been out there and I made videos of it where you can see where that wall was tunneling under, right behind our houses, her house and my house. And so that was another deal with that house over there. So I was told there were 4 underground homes buried at least 25 foot deep, each costing over $1 million apiece.
How the buildings underground that he was talking about, it was not 1 million, it was actually 4, and they're actually homes
That are underground?
3-bedroom. Yes, they're 3-bedroom homes.
Well, one of them obviously is in my backyard. It was used for the whole show parties and all that, but I don't know where the other ones are. I have an idea. I think one's around the corner on a house on Westmont Court, and then another one down the alley right across from the Fairmont Park Church of Christ in the Fairgreen Court. That's my guess. Where 2 other ones, that still leaves another one. I don't know where it's at. And then you'd probably have tunnels connected to them. So I don't know how many of these homes here that are connected. Maybe the next door neighbor side. I suspected my other next door neighbor on the other side had a tunnel entrance, that I've shown in other videos there. And so it's just some of the clues that I found here that if we can ever get legitimate law enforcement investigate, I think it can be exposed, and we can stop these crimes and solve many murders, and many crimes. But anyway, Midland, Texas.